Hello my lovelies, it's Susanna, and today I want to show you a trick how to calculate something like this super quickly. If you want to multiply 12 by 13, you can simply take this last digit and this last digit and multiply them. So 2 times 3 equals 6. You write it here at the end of your result. And then you take the first number, the 12, and just add it to this last digit. So 12 plus 3 equals 15. Write it down here, and this is your result. Unfortunately, this trick only works if your numbers that you multiply are between 10 and 19. But in these cases, it works and it's super fast. So let's take a look at a second example here. If you forget your square numbers, 13 times 13, you can simply use this trick. You take the last digit and multiply it by this last digit. 3 times 3 equals 9. Write it here at the end. And then you take the first number and just add it to this digit. 13 plus 3 equals 16. And here you have your result of this square number. If the numbers get a little bit bigger, we have to be aware of one thing that can happen. But we use the same steps. We have this last digit, and we multiply them. But what happens here now? We have 4 times 9, which equals 36. So we get 2 digits as a result. We only take the last of these digits, the 6, and write it down here at the end. But we keep the 3 as a carry. So we keep the 3 in mind, and then we follow the same steps here again. We take the first number, the 14, and add it to this last digit. 14 plus 9 equals 23. We add our carry, so we get 26 and have our final result here. Before I explain to you why this trick works, we take a look at this square number here, this last example, where we want to multiply 18 by 18. We take the last digits, 8 times 8, which equals 64. We only take the last digit, write it down here, and keep the 6 as a carry. Then we take the first number, add it to this last digit. 18 plus 8 equals 26. We add the carry, get 32, and have our result of the square number here. And this is not magic that we use here. This works because our numbers are between 10 and 19, which means that we will always have a 1 here and always have a 1 here. So if we take a look at long multiplication and the steps that we use during that process, we can find the exact same steps during this process. So let's compare what we do during long multiplication and this new trick that I just showed you. If we want to multiply these two numbers, we will always have a 1 here and we will always have a 1 here. So that's the most important part, why it works. But to do long multiplication, we usually start here with this number and we multiply it by this last digit. Sounds familiar already. So 7 times 2 equals 14. We write down the 4 here and keep our carry. And then we multiply the 7 by the next digit here. 7 times 1, here is always a 1, so 7 times 1 plus the carry equals 8 then. And then we take the next digit here. First, we always have to write down a 0 here at the end, but then we always have a 1 here. We have 1 times 2 first, which equals 2, and 1 times 1, which equals 1. Then we have to add these numbers. So we have a 4 here. This gives us a 10 with a carry, and here we get 2, and this is our result. Let's compare it to our new trick. If we want to multiply 12 by 17, we did the following. We took the last digit and multiplied by the last digit. 2 times 7 equals 14. We have a carry. Let's compare it. What we did here. We multiplied the last digits and got 14. And the 4 is here, the last digit still, because down here we will only add zeros. So to the 4, we add nothing at all. The 4 will always be the last digit. So it's exactly the same thing. Then how did we find the second part here? We took the first number, the 12, we add the last digit to this number, and we add a carry if we have one. So in total we get 20 here, what we would write down here, what we also had here, of course. But how can we also find exactly these same steps in here? Where is the 12? We get the 12 because we multiply the 1, and here is always a 1, by the 2 and the 1. So here is this 12 that we will always get. So we will always find this number in here. Where is the 7? The 7, we get it from 7 times 1. Because here is always a 1, we will always get this last digit, which is in here. In here is also this carry already. So the 7 and the 1 are in this 8, and then we only add them and get the 20. So we have exactly the same steps in the long multiplication, but I really like this representation. So I'm curious how you like it. Let me know in the comments. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Take care!